Hello everyone. My name is Ju. Hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll be discussing questions very similar to Azure AI-102 certification. We'll walk through the question, discuss each and every options in detail, and figure out the correct answer. So if you're preparing for AI-102 certification, feel free to watch the videos in this series. Now, a basic knowledge of Azure AI services will be helpful for you to understand these questions better. Now, the link to the training which I watched to prepare for the certification will be given in the description box below. This training was very helpful for me and it helped me to pass the exam in the very first attempt. I would highly recommend this training if you're preparing for Azure AI-102 certification. Now to the question. How do you translate an English lecture into French and German using Azure AI services? The function named append to transcript file takes a translated text and a language identifier as input parameters. Complete the code snippet with appropriate options. Now to the Python code. Before getting into the code, let us break down the question. What are the keywords present in the question? So what we have to do is translate an English lecture into French and German. That is our requirement. Now let us get into the code. So here in the code, we can understand that the service used is speech service. So to connect to a speech service, what we need is a subscription key and service region. For all other Azure AI services, we need subscription key as well as the endpoint. But in case of Azure AI speech service, what we need is key and speech service region. So you should know that. Again, there is a function to translate speech. So one thing I have to make clear is that if anything that is related to speech, we have to use the speech service. For speech synthesis, for producing speech or giving voice as an output, we have to use Azure AI speech service. Then Azure AI translator service is just used to translate text to text. It cannot synthesize speech. So we need to use the speech service for anything related to synthesizing or generating speech. So translator is for converting text in English to text in Spanish. But it won't create a voice or a speech output. For speech, we have to use Azure AI speech service. Now here we have the function. And first we are providing the speech recognition language. In which language the input speech is. So the input speech is in English, EN. EN is the code name for English. The next there is translation config.add target language. So here we have to mention the target language. In which language should we convert to? So which language are our target languages? Our target languages are French and German. So we have to convert English to French and German. So the incoming or the input language is English and the target language should be French and German. So here we have to provide the code name for French and German. So here in the option 4 are given, we have to choose the correct one. So French and German is not correct because there we have to provide the code name for those languages. And English GB is English Great Britain. So that is the input language. We have to provide the output language though. Then here languages is given. So that is also not correct option. So first we have to figure out what are the code name for these languages. But again, there's only one option left. So that will be the correct option. But still we can go through the documentation. So here is the translator language support documentation. So here we can find the language code for each of the languages supported by the service. So these are the same languages supported by the speech service as well. So here we can see French is FR and German is DE. That is their language code. Now let us get back into the question. So for add target language, we have to add this option, which is the code name for French and German. So that is the correct answer in the first blank. Now continuing with the code, here recognizer equal to speech SDK dot translation. Which class should be called here? What is the correct option here? So once we come down, these are the options. Speech SDK dot translation and which one should we call? Now let us see each options. First, we can look at speech synthesizer. So speech synthesizer class, what it does, it will perform speech synthesis to speaker, file or other audio output streams and get synthesized audio as a result. So it is a synthesizer. It creates or generates speech or generates audio, synthesizes audio. That is what it does. speech synthesizer. The next is translation recognizer. What that class does. So translation recognizer class. It translates speech input into text and synthesized speech in one or more target languages. So this is what this translation recognizer class does. Now that is exactly what we need. That is our scenario. We have to synthesize speech in French and German. We have two target languages. And here they have provided the C# code. So you can go through the code. So there is a from language here, which is English, and then there is a add target language where we have to provide the target language, and then we are using the translation recognizer class. Now back to the question, we have one more option, which is speaker recognizer. So speaker recognizer class verifies or identifies speakers in a conversation by matching unique voice characteristics. So that is not what we need. We don't want to identify the speaker. So this is not the class we have to use. Then there is one more option, which is speech translator. As far as I know, such a class doesn't exist. I googled it and I'm not able to find anything related to it, so that will be a bogus option. So in the second blank, what we have to use is translation recognizer. Translation recognizer. And it is used to translate speech input into text and synthesized speech in one or more targeted language. So that is what it is used for. Now the correct options are, in the first blank, we have to use the code for each of the languages. And in second blank, we have to use the translation recognizer class. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you.